Turn me on. What's popping? We're on live. What's going on, y'all? This is BMOC. You're now tuned to BMOC.TV. If I sound sick, it's because I am. I'm trying to fight, working myself crazy, man. I gotta take care of myself. And the weather's changing. Shout out to everybody out there who's been tuned in. The last episode was the BET Hip Hop Awards. And I really like. I tried my best to give you the best recap possible.
I tried with you.
Yeah, I tried with you. I tried, man. The flip side, the BET Awards was so great that the BET Hip Hop Awards, it was tough to kind of measure up to, man. And so shout out to all my good folks out there at BET. But yeah. All right, so let's get it popping. Tonight, we're going to talk about a long overdue debate that we've kind of had in the group for a while in terms of the new kings of the new era, man. So Drake versus Kendrick Lamar versus J. Cole. I'm literally just, that order is just the way it is, just for the search results. What's in keyword optimization. So we're going to talk tonight about what our order is and who we think is the kings of this and what order and why they're better and such and such. So let's go around the room, man, to the best, the greatest co-hosts around the nation, man. Just shout out up to the people, man.
What's going on, world? 916 Sacramento coming live. This has been. This topic has been debated across the country for a long time. And once again, what better place to come get the facts, the results, the opinions from coast to coast and here on The Culture. Shout out to all my people in Sacramento, South Sacramento. We are ready to get it in. I got notes.
Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. When the shout out brings notes, I just sit back and let him just rock. Yes, notes. All right, we get to it. Drew, man, send up to the people, man.
What up? I was just trying to figure out, did J. Cole really lose a battle to Diggy Simmons? And
oh my God, here we go. You got qualified, Charlamagne.
You're not qualified to answer that question.
I'm not qualified to give you that answer.
That's hilarious.
It's it's the new version of argue all day about who's the best MCs, Kendrick, J. Cole, or Drake. So that's what we're about to do today. So let's get into it.
You're about to get it in. Gotta go to my frat, man. Repping the frat today, man.
I see you, bro.
Actually, my other shirts were in laundry, so this is the only way. Just low key. But I like yours. I like yours. Flash, though.
Hey, and I got the black and gold on this. It's kind of zoom off.
Okay.
So I'm up a little bit. What's good, everybody? Just here, represent for the culture once again. Baddest chaplain on the globe. Here talking about why. I feel like Kendrick should be just upset that he's even being mentioned with his presence right now. He's really upset he's going to come down from Mount Olympus and correct somebody for this disrespect.
Man.
Hey, man, we got to do it, man. You got to do it. You know what I mean? And last but not least, man, if you can see him, I know you see him. I know you see him.
Man, I don't no problems. All right.
Tyler, rap nerd, man. Say up to the people, man.
What's going on, man? Back again. Rap nerd leaves in the building. Let's put this thing in proper perspective.
Yeah.
Kendrick. That's it.
For all y'all enjoyment. So don't give me on my nods. We ain't doing nods tonight, man. Nods tonight.
BMOC.
What's up?
Can I clarify something? I don't want to steal your thunder.
Sure, go ahead.
I don't know what we got going on. But before we even get started, I just got to ask.
Yeah.
Is Quentin Miller relevant to this conversation? I need to know what side I'm gonna get on.
Yes.
Is he relevant or not? Are we? Is Quentin a part of this? Is this a four-man race or not?
You would have to.
4-man race.
You would have to. It's not a 4-man race. I don't think he's been there the entire time. But
somebody might.
But we would. In order to keep it real, we have to mention him. We have to mention him.
Do we have to take it into account? Like if you ask me, like say a verse from here, and I know we may not be a question, but a verse from here and a verse from here, do I have to say, well, I'm going with this verse, even though I like this verse better because I think this verse do we take this into account tonight?
We have to. We have to. I think we have to. Hey, listen, we got to be fair.
No
gotta be
problem.
fair.
No problem.
You gotta be fair.
He got notes, y'all. He got notes.
Right.
You got the iPhone out, yeah.
So I want to kick it off. I want to kick it off. I'm gonna give the order that I think, and then we'll go around the room.
That's right.
So I haven't been shy in saying that I think Kendrick Lamar is the best, I guess, new MC. I guess post 2009 MC in the era. Like, I think Kendrick is it. I think Kendrick is worthy, to me, top 10 right now. I think he's like my 10.5 right now, depending on the day that you ask me. So I definitely think Kendrick's number one. To be completely honest with you, as much as I would love to say that Cole is number two, I gotta keep it 100, man. Drake is number two for me, man. Mm-hmm. Drake is number two, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Controller.
Well, besides Controller, besides the record that comes second, right? Besides the record that comes second, I personally think that when Drake rhymes, Drake is dope. I think when Drake sings, he's dope. Well, not the like I Better Find Your Lovin'. I don't really like those records. But I think when he does the hybrid, and then we just rap, I think those are fire flows. I think he has different flows, different pockets. I do think he has a lot of throwaway songs, but I think you can find gems. If you listen to Views, if Views had like 20 songs, you can find a good 4 or 5 that you like. Granted, that's a almost a terrible ratio to have, but those 5 songs that you'll like, you'll love. So I think like Drake has quotables. When Drake's been rhyming with Jay, he hasn't slacked. When Drake's been on songs with Eminem, he hasn't slacked. Like I mean, he's had dope flows, he's had dope styles and cadences. He has at least one thing you're gonna repeat when you end the song. You gotta give Drake that. Yes, Drake's persona is kind of be like the soft guy. People think he's corny, and I get all that. But when he rhymed, like his song, the joint with Fonte with the Nita Baker sample, that's hard. The motion with Sanford, you know what I'm saying? Like early on, is it Sanford? That's how you say his name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The guy who's on Solange's joint, who's on Solange's That's My Hair joint. Yeah, but like even with that, the motion, I don't know why they make the original album, but like he's nice. When he's rapping, he's nice. And then Cole, I think Cole is lyrically better than Drake, but the thing that gets me with Cole is sometimes the content just doesn't. It's like it's cool, but it's not like exciting. Like it's not like it's the same old. The industry's bad. We write another song about it. You know what I'm saying? This is like, oh, you want to hear what the industry's bad? I got 5 people outside of Dreamville who would tell you why it's bad under Universal Records. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like Cole or Tidal. I'm a Tidal member. I'm a Tidal owner. So it's like I like Cole, and I've met. He's actually the person I've met out of these 3. I've met Cole. I know his people. I met him back in the Come Up in New York with the people from St. John and all these people. I think he's a dope MC. I think lyrically he's great. Forest Hill, I love Forest. I think it's dope. But in terms of that excitement, like if I have tickets to a show and I gotta pick out of these 2 out of the 3, I'm going to see Kendrick and I'm going to see Drake. I may not see J. Cole. So that's my order. I'm not saying it's gospel, but I would say Drake, I would say Kendrick, I would say Cole. I definitely think it's not a far margin. People try to make it seem. I don't think it's a far margin. I think in terms of lyricism, I would edge it to Kendrick and Cole. In terms of songs that I actually want to rock with on a daily basis, I would give it to Kendrick and Drake. So to me, it's almost like a toss-up. You know what I'm saying? So let me go to the shots real quick, man. What is your order and why, man? Let me know.
So this is tough based on the fact that I think I was one of the first champions that I know of Cole in Sacramento, like way back. I heard Cole and it just resonated because I appreciated his style and his content, like Friday Night Lights early. Yeah. And so I was kind of beating the drum when people was like, I'm not listening to the music, it was boring, and I was pissed off before, I for real, I'm like, nah, this is good. You know what I'm saying? So but like you said, man, I think what really it comes down to is I was listening to Cole this week, and the legitimate argument is like, man, the home run, it's like, man, he getting triples, he getting doubles, but then these cats got home runs that are like legendary. You know what I'm saying? So let's start off with Kendrick and Drake. It's interesting because Kendrick is so special that he hasn't necessarily surpassed Drake, what he's done in his career, but when he's at his height, it's the highest of the 3. Yeah. And that's what carries it, right? Like I think he has the best album of any other albums in Good Kid, Mad City, in my opinion. You know, and then you could talk about maybe To Pimp a Butterfly might be, you know, second or somewhere no lower than about 3 or 4, depending on what your preference is. So lyrically, and even when he's making music, it's probably at the height for me. Right. But then you talk about Drake, like we start talking about what he's done so far in his career. And like, you know, somebody who started listening to So Far Gone, went back to Comeback Season. Yeah. And then even like people start talking that Drake's a singer stuff. I get it now. Like views really flip that argument. But people were saying that when his first 3 albums was fire. Like when he was doing Underground Kings, when he was doing, you know what I'm saying, like all the stuff back when he was, you know what I'm saying, doing So Far Gone, he was spitting bars and that was equal to what anybody else was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a reason that he was in the place he was in. So I do think without including the ghostwriter stuff, he's a little bit closer than people make it seem. I would say what to keep an eye on is this next few years, because I don't think Kendrick can sit on his laurels of what he's done so far and take that another 5 or 10 years if Drake keeps going up and people start still keeping them in the same class or keeping Drake too. Like this right there where like another album or, you know, if they ever actually spar a little bit, that's going to happen. And then Cole, man, like I think, you know, his first album is still my favorite. I think, you know, it was great front to back. You know, you had, you know, I think the middle of that album, you get to Nobody's Perfect. You get to like the fillers, the end. I think it was started and ended strong to his first album. I didn't like Born Sinner for half the album. I thought Born Sinner had some really high highs, and I just think some of the lows was boring. And then Forest Hill Drive is kind of the same way. Like after the first third of the album, I kind of check out. Like I didn't buy into the rest of it, and I just kind of kept going. So
like overall, it's like you don't, but you don't want to replay it all of that.
Exactly. It's like, man, that was cool, man, but I'm finna throw this back. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the 3. And the other thing we have to take into account, you know, because I don't know if anybody's gonna have Drake first on this list, but he got the achievements, he has the hits, he had you know, great albums, and he's the only one so far that has a legitimate battle on the records. We can say we want to about Meek now, but
what about Meek?
Chase has got him. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, he got him. Hey, listen, man.
Mention Meek, yo. Like.
He mentioned Meek. He mentioned Meek, and the camera just died on him. Does that count as the L? Is that count as the L? Is that count?
Facts.
Yo, man, I think BDC must have got a hold of Deshaun's cable.
It was on Melly, man.
All right. Go ahead, Paul.
Damn them up.
It's crazy. Okay, we're gonna Drew. That freestyle was hilarious. Drew, man, tell me your order, man, and why,
man. My order. Kendrick is a clear number 1.
Okay.
Second, I'll go Cole, and third would be Drake. I was telling the guys before the show started that normally before the shows I don't like prep or anything. You know, we just, you know, we rock when, you know, we get on.
Yeah.
But Drake and J. Cole are not part of my rotation. I don't listen to them like that. Kendrick, I play Kendrick all the time, so like, he's always fresh in what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
My this is first of all, I'll start with Cole. My thing with J. Cole is really like his music is hella boring. It's boring, and it doesn't stick with me. And I really, when the first time it came out, I wanted to like it, like everybody else was. It was a lot of buzz. Especially coming off, listening to him on Star Is Born.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I went to the Blueprint 3 tour, and Cole was opening up, and the place was like damn near empty, and he's on stage. And I remember he spit a line, and he said Ron Mercer. And if you know who, it's like, yo, you digging into your wordplay like that, like you quoting Robert, like it was crazy. I'm like, okay. So I was checking on him from there, but his music just really doesn't grab me like that. His perspective, and people compare him to Nas, and I always never understood the comparison because J. Cole and Nas don't rap anything alike, and it's not even about a skill thing.
Yeah,
it's about a perspective. Nas is like really from the projects, and his perspective is more of a street perspective, and Cole's isn't. And And not saying that's a bad thing, but I just never even got that correlation.
Yeah,
I get it on the surface as far maybe the content is a little bit, but overall,
yeah.
no. But then when it comes to Drake, I don't like Drake's music. It's too sing-songy for me. Like even back before when Ja Rule was going and Nelly and all that.
Oh God.
What would I be without you?
Not even saying Drake is necessarily damn or who's better lyrically, but just I don't like that sing-songy stuff.
Right.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like Drake's production. I'm not a big fan of, you know, I don't like it. Like I remember when DMX on Breakfast Club, and I put part of it on my Instagram when views came out. I was just funny, just lightweight.
I like his haircut.
I was just like you like Drake? No, and it's, you know, it's not for me. I don't like reggaeton music. I don't like when am I ever going to listen to Marvin's Room? That's like a sucker anthem, like you hating, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
Yeah. I said two songs the grown men should have: Marvin's Room and I Don't Want to Know About Mario Minors. Those two songs should be nowhere near your playlist at all. I don't care. Violation.
Drake, I'm taking out my favorites right now, fellas.
I'll be right back.
And Drake is spit, you know, like he has his moments, like, you know, 6 p.m. in New York and songs like that where it's like, okay, like, you know, you get, you know, his lyrical ability. I'm not gonna play Drake all the way out like he's just not some dude with talent. His whole wave though is not for me, not even a little bit. Like there's nothing he talking about or doing that it's like I mess with. And then it comes to Kendrick. The white Kendrick's my number one way above is because I mean when I, and not to just be nostalgic, but when I heard Good Kid, Mad City, it took me back to everything that I love with music. Like the skits, it was like beautiful. Like when you listen to like Wu-Tang, you listen to Cuban Links, and Cuban Links comes on, and Striving for Perfection comes on, and Ghost and Ray is talking. It just sets the mood for the album what's coming, right? And all the things that tie into it. And when you listen to the beginning of Good Kid, Mad City, you know, with the skits and everything, with his parents, all that, him and his friends, he puts you in Compton.
Yeah.
The conversations they're having in the car, even the art of peer pressure, like his first line, pistol and orange soda, like everything like all the imagery that I grew up loving, Kendrick just captured that. And when he did that, I was sold. And I heard him before with the mixtapes and stuff like that. But when I heard Good Kid, Mad City, I said, this is everything that I've been missing for the last however long. So Kendrick's definitely number one for me. So yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick is dope. And I want to say, too, I always bring this up as my card. So when I first heard Kendrick, it was on Hip Hop DX. Shout out to the folks at Hip Hop DX. This was 2009. He had made a song called Beyonce. And he was K-Dot at that time. And it was basically a song about, it was like a parody song of him like stalking Beyonce and like shooting Jay and follow her around, and it was funny, but he was like, his voice was different. He was kind of rhyming. I was like Eminem a little bit, so I was like, and I put it on my Facebook. I screenshot it too because it came up with my memories a couple days ago. I was like, I don't know who this kid is. I said he reminds me of like a young Eminem. Like I love his wordplay or whatever. And this was 2009. So for the 2016, he's doing songs with Beyonce, Freedom. He's on stage with her at the BET Awards. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like. But like you said, Kendrick Lamar, man, I mean, I didn't even get into, cause it's just, oh man.
He's like, you say Eminem, like he really embodies all of the MCs that came before him, like a lot of the greats. You see the Kendrick, when you see the 3000 influence, you see the Eminem influence. That's why he can do a song like he did with Emma Marshall's LP too. It fits so perfectly. He has that storytelling Nas has.
You see the Biggie, you see the Pop.
He gives you that Biggie, that Ice Cube. Like he gives you all that. He can go back, grab, put MC8 on the record, and just float with that. And then he can go all the way, like you said, with Beyonce, and get up there and splash in the water and do Freedom. You know what I mean? Like he can go wherever you want to go, and he's incredible.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna go. I'm gonna let y'all go. I ain't gonna get into it. Chris, man, give me your order, man. What's up?
Yeah, my order is, King Kendrick number 1. Now I put Drake number 2 and J. Cole in the third, not necessarily like a distant third, but I really was trying to think about like sports or like pop culture comparisons for it, and I feel like J. Cole is sort of like the Clyde Drexler or Tracy McGrady in this race, like someone who's like very, very good, but in terms of comparing it to someone who's like in Kendrick's case, someone who's going to be considered when it's all said and done, whenever he's done rapping, a top 3 rapper. I'll go that far. Right now, I have him. Like, I pencil him in my like top 10 for sure. Like he's even like knocking on number 5 for me. Not because the way I do my top 5s is not so much like the whole catalog, like and being consistent, all that stuff. I try to think of it in terms of like how far up the mountain they got. You know what I mean? Like Rakim got to the top of the mountain, Jay got to the top of the mountain, Biggie got to the top, Nas got to the top. Like Kendrick at his highest moments is just like flying up summits to me. You know what I mean?
He's leaping up the mountain.
Leaping bounds. Like there's no way you could look around it. And the fact that he's someone who's relevant to you know younger, newer fans of rap, but like got all of the old heads who are like, get off my lawn with this like like we still like him too. And I think speaks volumes to just like how amazingly talented this kid is. Now when I talk about Drake, I view him as someone who, when it's all said and done, might be like the most like talented rapper / actor / whatever he ends up doing. Like I could see him being like the EGOT, the 5-time host of SNL, like all these like different like pop culture things that might not mean that much to rappers. Like, you know, as a rap fan, I'm not that impressed that LL's on NCIS, right? But he's still a part of the mainstream, like 30 years later, even though he might not be dropping music that I like still. And then I look at J. Cole as someone who really, like this, I always felt like the Nas comparison was weak. But the only thing I see is relevant, though, is that whole sense of like Nas captured the spirit of the underdog, which is what I think J. Cole fans ride with. Because, like, you know, they'll be like, oh, he went platinum with no features. And that always will resonate. Like, no matter what, like Drake has a billion streams. And they're going to be like, oh, but he had platinum with no streams.
Yeah, right. Like Illmatic, right.
Like Illmatic, exactly. So I see those lanes being occupied by him. But honestly, I was joking about saying Kendrick shouldn't even be compared to these guys because, once again, like, he's someone who I see like college professors studying, like someone who's going to be such a huge part of the culture. Yeah. I don't see us going back and observing the impact of One Dance. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that song. That might have been it. Summer 16.
Wait, but hold on. I gotta do this because somebody's gonna read the comments. Yeah. And they're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna know what the comments. We okay. For the sake of argument for Drake, we would have to mention One Dance in these records because of Wizkid, because of the international influence of combining African culture with mainstream pop culture. So somebody's going to say that. So we can't leave out he's the most streamed artist ever. We can't leave out he went platinum in a week. Like we can't leave that out for Drake. I know I know it sales and stuff like that, but like he's done some things that not even the greats have done.
Yeah,
that's true.
He's fourth all time in charting singles on the Hot 100. Like he had James Brown this year. So when you do stuff like that, like that's not just rap. I mean that's music, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So commercially, so I think as you're saying, Chris, I think from the artistic perspective, Kendrick is definitely like the Harvard, Stanford. Right. Study him. I think for commercialization, marketing, pop appeal, Drake is definitely the top case study right now in any genre.
You're right.
Can I add a question real quick?
For the sake of argument, we have to, because somebody's going to say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. What is genres?
Yeah. All right, so one I want to touch on too. It's interesting to me that a lot of folks who don't consider themselves, you know, huge K-Dot fans, I almost am sure that, you know, they don't quite get, you know, some of the lyricism. Like when he comes up talking about, you know, what's the yams? And, you know, like, and they don't even understand, like, the yams ain't even talking about yams at that point. Like, that's the level of lyricism. I'm like, we can't even, you can't talk, like, Kendrick is either you get it or you don't. So when people tell me, like, I don't hear it, I'm like, well, then I'm not going to sit here and go line for line for you because you wasn't listening to High Power. Like, I would, like, it ain't, like, you haven't dug into the lyricism enough. So that's a great point. But I want to, you know, piggyback off what Walter was saying. For the Drake fans out there, you know, I'm like, tell me if my accomplishments so far are ahead of this guy, if I was a Drake fan, I would say Drake hasn't had. Kendrick hasn't had the impact that we've had, and I have more albums. And I'm outselling because literally in today's world, Drake is one of the biggest artists. So we can talk about what's a classic, but to some of these kids, Drake has 3 classics.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. So tell me, if I'm a fan, is Kendrick that much more of a lyricist than Drake? Is that what happens to it? Or like tell the Drake fans why he's not going to be number 1, considering all these accomplishments. And you said he was kind of nice on the mic. So is Kendrick that far ahead, or is it the Quentin? Is that not why you won? Like, tell the fans why he's not 1.
Yeah, and I think too the whole Drake thing. I think part of the persona plays a part of it too, because even the stuff that you want to like, it's almost like it's not cool to like. So even when you do something good, it's like, oh, but it's still Drake though. So it's almost like the obvious choice is Drake, so I don't want to go with the obvious choice sometimes. Right. And it's tough because for every one dance, you have he's rhyming with Fonte, he's rhyming with Kanye, he's rhyming with Jay. So it's like for every one of those, you got those. You know what I'm saying? You got the motion, you got the joint, too much. You have those songs. That is tough. I don't know. Go ahead, Drew.
To your point, Walter. Like with the not wanting to like it. So there's 2 examples of that for me.
Yeah. When
Started From the Bottom first came out.
Yeah.
I first heard. I was like, oh, it's kind of hot. Like, I was like, oh man. and then come on, I'm having a brain freeze. What's the song that Puff had to beat first?
0 to 100.
Oh yeah, 0 to 100. Yeah.
0 to 100. I was like, oh shit, Drake out right now. Like, so there's been those 2, like for sure. Like I was like, yo, those 2 was serious. I mean, I didn't, because overall, I don't like his music, but you run into one every couple of times, and those 2 I didn't want to like, but them was fire, and I couldn't really front on them.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Like I ain't gonna go to the club and request that. You know what I mean? But if it come on, I'm tapping my foot crazy.
When it came on 2K, I never skipped it. I'm like,
I'm too tired to skip this on the playlist. So I let it rock all the way through. Tyler, man, give me your order, man. All
right. Okay. First, you got Kendrick Lamar, right?
Of course.
Number 2, of course, right. Number 2, you got K-Dot, right? Number 3, so this is important. Number 3, you got Cornrow Kenny.
Oh man, here we go.
So then, for everyone else is I guess maybe Drake. We're gonna go after him, but it's not that Cole is that far at the bottom. It's just that Drake makes popular music that is more palatable to other audiences. Whereas with Cole, for me anyway, like everyone else said, it's kind of boring. And he's nice, but it's just like it really didn't resonate with me, so I can't really put him any higher than that. As far as Drake goes, like all the songs you mentioned earlier, like they were cool, but that was like early on. Like I guess him trying to make his bones and prove himself to be like an elite MC. But then somewhere along the line, he lost that and started doing all this pop mainstream stuff. And it's like how you could like trying to be called the best rapper if you're making pop songs. So, but as far as Kendrick, like I feel like he's trying to meld those worlds and put real music behind the substance and the content. That's why I think he's number 1.
So I'm gonna say something, and again, I'm gonna speak as kind of the host here. I'm gonna speak for the person who's gonna comment on this, because the person's gonna comment like, oh, what about this? What about that? Drake forever.
I'm Drake forever.
Drake forever. Totally unbiased, but I really think you should have mentioned. Okay, so Kendrick Lamar. Okay, he did Bad Blood with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a pop star. Kendrick did a song with Beyonce. She's a pop star. So you have those songs.
J. Cole was still rapping though. I'm sorry.
Well, exactly. But you have to mention it. You know what I'm saying?
But also content kind of matters too. Because if you have a song like Freedom, it's not the same as a ooh na na what's my name. Like you can make fun of that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Drake songs with the pop stars, it's kind of like, well, if I was a 17-year-old girl going to Carnival, I could rock out to this. But with Kendrick, like you making music that's powerful, especially with the times we're in, and making music that's going to capture what's going on in 2016 at the time. Like that's important music way in the future. So even the kind of songs that they are, it holds more weight than nah. What's my name?
You know what's interesting, man? Like the interesting thing about Drake is this. It's funny because I think Talib, he just reminded me of this. Is what's frustrating, but it's also like kind of stuntastic. You know, if I may take it back some years ago, is like Drake will have everybody talking about how he's a singer now. He's a singer now, and you could strip away all the songs that he's been primarily a singer in. And then they'd be like, okay, now which one of you rappers can see my resume? And we still be having the same list. Like that's what's great and frustrating about him, because I expected Views to kind of like, all right, I'm ready. Is he gonna try to rival? Is he gonna try to? And then he didn't. Right. But then he was like, okay, I'm doing that. Now I'm killing the music game in any genre. And then I could just throw away Views and then take my first 3 albums where I'm still rapping a lot in my mixtapes. And now who's going to beat me? Like maybe Kendrick, but I can argue against that. Like nobody's ascended yet to be like, you got to keep rapping, because Big Sean ain't chasing him. Wale ain't here no more. Like who's going to chase him down except Kendrick? So it's like he can kind of stop rapping until Kendrick drop another classic and still be comfortable. So it's kind of like, we want you to keep rapping, but that's how much he did in them first few albums and mixtapes, to where it was like, I kind of don't have to rap. I can just go out here and try to expand my wings and be one of the greatest artists ever, and not just one of the greatest rappers, and still tell you I'm a better rapper than you when I want to get on the diss song.
But I want to say something too. It's tough. But you know something? As even like my own professional journey and going through stuff, I've started to understand Drake more. Because I get it. Like I don't necessarily 100%. Like he's not on top of my list. He's not on my top 10. But I get it. It's kind of like this. If I'm Drake, and it's been all these people ahead of me. It's been Jay, Nas, people that came before me, Eminem, and I know that lyrically, no matter what I do, it's still gonna be that very. Even Kendrick rapping his butt off, and it's still like he will never be better than Biggie ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like. So it's like Jay, even Jay said it. Jay was like, y'all got me fighting ghosts. You know what I'm saying? I can't win. So it's like, okay, what can I do that those guys can't do? I'm already from Toronto. I'm under Wayne. He was under Wayne. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I can't even be over Wayne at this point. So it's like, I can sing a little bit. And if I can kind of add that to my thing, 50s was singing. If I can add that to my thing a little bit, I look marketable. I got some songs that I can kind of carve my own lane where I don't have to compete. I can have a Hotline Bling be nominated for a rap category, and I'm gonna win because it doesn't sound rap, but I'm a rapper, so that's my lane. So business-wise, that's his unique selling point. Like that's my thing. So I get it. And like you can't really compare me to Kendrick and Cole because I put myself in a level where you can't. You know, and then on my off time, I'm gonna do songs with Future. But on my on time, I'm gonna do songs with WizKid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's really
at that point.
So business marketing wise, I think that's a smart move, because now Kendrick's in a space where now he's gonna have to rap better every time. And I think for Kendrick, he's up for the challenge. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if Cole is going to be out rapping himself every time. I don't know if some of these guys are going to do that. And then you end up just being that dope rapper that was out 5 years ago. Versus Drake. Somebody said in the comments that Controller, One Dance, and Hotline Bling won't mean anything. And I think that is completely wrong. I think we'll like them more later than we do now.
Well, this is my thing. But Hotline Bling is to Deshaun's point about, do I even have to rap? When I saw Hotline Bling, the first thing I thought was, this was Drake's victory lap.
Yeah, right.
He knew that was a victory lap. It was like, I don't have to rap. Like, okay, Meek, because at the time, right when Meek's album came out, Meek was in a position where he could have put himself in this conversation. He had a #1 album, and he was also he was the streets.
Yeah.
Because Kendrick is the streets. Kendrick has kind of everything. Cole and Drake aren't really the streets like that. But Meek was he was the streets. He was the new Beans, kind of like Beans was talking about.
Facts.
And so Meek had an opportunity to do that. And when Drake beat him, now what y'all gonna do? Because that was y'all's guy. This was the street guy. This was the tough guy from Philly. I body him. Now I can dance. I can turn myself into a living, breathing meme. And I'm gonna run a victory lap. That was him high stepping 30 yards from the end zone. But my thing is, hopefully Kendrick comes and knocks it out, makes a fumble, because I think Kendrick's the only guy really who could really do that. Because, and like you said, I think Kendrick's the guy for it too, because he already threw the bait out there when he did Control. That was the open invitation. Like, I'm coming, whoever won it's not a problem.
Right.
And he threw, you know what I'm saying? He threw the little shout to King Kunta, everything, like y'all sharing bars, all that, like it's on. Like, so, and I think the thing is, and I think eventually Drake and Kendrick are going to, Drake and Kendrick are going to butt heads. You can't not butt heads.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, right now, Kendrick's coming off he's coming off the most impressive Grammy year since Lauryn Hill.
That people sleep
like
under
those
the
kind
rug,
of years.
Man. Thank you.
Those
Drew.
years don't like
let me not say it. Let me not say it, please, Lord.
Yeah, backup industry, dude.
Before
no, because man, go ahead.
Because this is the thing is I'm not even Mr. Grammy. Like, my favorite artists don't have Grammys.
Right.
Bob Marley don't have a Grammy. Nas don't have a Grammy. So I don't put everything in the Grammys.
Right.
But we're talking about that impact that Drake has. Well, Kendrick, so before it was Thriller, and we didn't have nothing else like that until Lauryn Hill. Since Lauryn Hill had nothing like that since Kendrick. So my point is, we're seeing something rare.
Yeah.
That happens once every 15, 20 years.
Right.
So you can't say like Drake is too far away ahead, because Kendrick right now is doing something.
Good point.
That we see once in a generation.
Talk about it.
So
man.
When somebody's doing that, when you're doing that, you can't. Drake has to keep his eye on Kendrick, because one thing to keep an eye on, because he's right. To me, they're right there.
Yeah.
And my thing with the whole, sorry, I don't want to try to go too long, but one thing with the Meek and the Drake beef, I felt like, especially like when you look at the energy on Twitter, that's where all the blogs are at. Everybody's making their hot takes and when songs are happening. There were, and I said this before, Meek, there was a space where Meek had a shot to get Drake. People were waiting for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Meek made himself into a joke because he didn't handle the beef right.
Exactly.
Because people were looking at Drake sideways when he dropped the whack. What was the whack joint he made?
It was something.
Like, people was waiting for Meek, and Meek dropped the ball. Meek played itself. Like, so Kendrick has the opportunity to get at Drake and really, because y'all going for that crown, man. Y'all going clash, man. So hopefully it does happen. Not even just becoming more of a Kendrick fan, but just for the culture and for rap. I think it'll be ill, because they're the two top guys, and it needs to happen.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this real quick. The only reason why Drake and Kendrick are neck and neck is because in the Grammys, and it's so funny when people talk about the Grammys, because it's like when people want to discredit someone, they'll say they don't have a Grammy.
Yeah.
And then when somebody gets a Grammy, they're like, well, the Grammys doesn't matter. It's like it's like even for you, Drew, like the fact that, like, for example, Nas, your favorite MC, doesn't have a Grammy, but you hate 50 and 50 doesn't have a Grammy. So it's like it kind of goes. It's like wherever you want, you know what I'm saying? But I think Grammys, honestly, is more of a critical. I'm not saying it's I'm part of the Grammy board, but it's more of a critical acclaim, and I think Kendrick has that by far. As far as Drake has his sales. So it depends on what people value most. If you value sales, then Drake is like so far ahead with the most streams and platinum in 2 hours, in 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Kendrick, like his peers, producers, writers, artists had to all vote for him to get that many Grammy nominations. Because the Grammys are a little bit different now than they were back in 1995 when they weren't trying to give nobody Grammys. So I think it's just a different time, but you're right. And I think people have to put those things into perspective. You can't just tailor what your standard is based upon the artist. Because if you're going to say that Joe Budden isn't relevant because he's not selling records, then you can't say that Drake isn't relevant when he's selling records, like, or he isn't dope. So it's like you use the same thing to downplay someone, but then it doesn't matter when somebody else, like sales doesn't matter. Like Jasmine Sullivan, she's so underrated. We all say it. So how is she underrated if we're all saying it? But Beyonce is getting all the praise and all the sales, but she's overrated. So it's just like unless you're
fallacy.
So like unless you're Nas or Jill Scott, you're gonna get hate. You're either gonna overhate you or not rate you at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta be Nas or Jill Scott.
I got another question, but Chris, did you have something before I ask the question?
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna mention. I saw Marcellus Wiley on DJ Vlad interview a few months ago where he was talking about, and he wouldn't go into details on which guest was on his show on ESPN. I think it was like Sports Nation or whatever. Right. But he said like either Drake or Kendrick was on the show and was ready to talk about the other artists and was like ready to go at them. But like some phone calls was made, like they had the tape and everything, like it was all ready to go on 4 o'clock. And the people's called and was like, nah, like ESPN, y'all can't show that at all. So I feel like these guys, you know, we talk bad about, I mean, I know I talk bad about Drake, but at the end of the day, like
if I was Drake.
Yo, he's still a student of the game though. You know what I mean? He's still someone who understands like, okay, I saw Jigga's pattern, I saw Nas's pattern, I saw all these guys who, in order to become the king, had to take down any other competition. I studied 52. Like, I think he's built like that. So I don't think he's sitting there like, I'm afraid to go at Kendrick. He's trying to like understand how to play chess well. But I think the problem is at the end of the day, as much as we're talking about the culture, it's still also the business, and the business will stop him from doing what he needs to do for the culture.
And I hated that Marcel said that, man. I'm like, you can just tease us like that, man. We all know it was Drake.
Yes.
We all know it was Drake. Kendrick is too calculated. Drake, just like remember when Kendrick had that control verse?
Yeah.
And Drake was on. Drake was on. Was it Angie Martinez? He's like, I just can't believe that guy. Like I just can't. I'm so mad. I wanted to say his name. It's just that guy, and he just said some really harsh words, and who would want to even deal with someone like that, like ever? Like people don't even talk about it anymore. It was a Twitter thing, but now it's a Twitter thing, and that's how the whole thing was. So we know it was Drake. Yeah. Just say it, Mark. Just tell us, man. That's all I want. And they thought about it. It was like, nah, OVO spokesperson called. Right. We ain't going to. We know what the deal was, man. that was not Kendrick, man. Like, come on. Stop trying to lie to
Marcellus, protect your money, man. Don't mention no names.
Top Dog ain't calling. Top Dog, like, put it up.
Nah.
Put it up. Top Dog might get some balls from too.
It's funny. Go ahead, tell it.
I was saying, like, during that time, like, that's when Drake, to me, was, like, cherry picking. Like, he was going after Meek and then going after Tyga. Like, go after some real MCs. You know,
exactly. That clearly was Drake. That the whole behavior,
the worst behavior.
It was around the Kendrick time. He's been the most loose with the mouth. Pause. It's been Drake. Like, he's been the most flat talking one out of all. You know what I mean? Like Drake, like Kendrick's gonna address you in a record. Kendrick's not gonna go off in an interview. He's going to write bars. You're gonna know what's about you. He's not gonna just fly off the handle. You know what I mean?
And he did it twice. He did it during the cipher too. You know, jokes on you thing. So
That
was a 2 for 1. That was Drake and Papoose.
It's funny before I ask this question, everybody. It's funny, man. Like to me, Drake is like Superman as far as rap goes, because I promise you, every time I've seen like Drake on stage, or just talking in interviews, I still don't think that's the same person that's in the booth. Like the swag is different. I'm like, bro, that is not the dude that was on Back to Back. Like when you're at the Grammys talking about Johnny Manziel, and like I'm like, this cornball is not like there has never been another person that has been more of a code switch than what Drake does in the mic. But I think we all pretty much had Kendrick, Drake, and Cole. Who would you say is closer? Is Drake closer to catching Kendrick, or is Cole closer to catching Drake?
Kendrick's
we can whip around when you're ready.
Say it again. Say it one more time.
We all had Kendrick 1, Drake 2, and Cole 3. So is Cole closer to going 3-2, or is Drake closer to going 2-1 on your list? Not necessarily just like with the acclaim, but for you, would it be easier for Drake to be better than Kendrick for you, or for Cole to be better than Drake?
I think it'd be easier. Honestly, I think it'd be easier for Cole to be better than Drake. Because I mean, as far as Drake goes, he's already making like other stratosphere music as far as pop and mainstream. But as far as rap goes, you want to hear classic bars. So Cole has more of the potential to make an album that's a classic, as opposed to Drake making a classic rap album.
You know what? I'm going to take the other route. I'm going to say Drake, only because I feel like Views should have been it. Views should have been like, this is my blueprint. This is my this is the defining thing for me. And I could chill for a year or so and just do features. And when that didn't happen, and left that doubt. And I really felt like if Views was it, if Views lyrically was it, this whole conversation would have been completely different. Because
but you know why it wasn't?
He has the stage, and when you have the stage, you can't count him out. But you still have the stage. I think Cole, he's like still building the stage, and Kendrick's like, listen, Cole has let Kendrick lap him. Like Cole had a whole 2 projects out before people even knew who Kendrick Lamar was, and Kendrick Lamar has lapped him. Like Kendrick's doing the stuff that Cole was saying that couldn't be done, that the industry won't let you do. The industry, the corporations, they won't let you do it. But Kendrick's doing it, so it's like easily doing it. So that's my thing.
To me, the reason why Views didn't do that is because it kind of goes back to making him rap, and nobody was making him rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there were, because you named, like you said, Blueprint, Stillmatic. Well, what was the key things on those albums?
Rapping.
Beef. You know what I'm saying? It was beef. You know what I'm saying? So if Kendrick kind of got at Drake, maybe that would have put the battery in him. Like, yo, I'm gonna really go in.
I have to prove something.
And I think that, and not having to do that, maybe caused in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, this is my thing with Cole, I don't know who I would say Cole could reach, because this is my thing with Cole. I think it's kind of dope at the same time. I think one thing I've always liked a lot in an artist or just a celebrity figure in general is the ability to make yourself kind of mysterious, right? Yeah. Like, so for instance, like the Queen of England, right? She's never done an interview. She's been the Queen of England for 60 years. She's never done one interview. I think that's super dope, right? Cole's kind of in that same opera space where, like, you never see J. Cole. He's not on social media. He's not on a bunch of interviews. When he popped up on Khaled's album, it was kind of an event, right? It was kind of dope. Like, oh, that's some new Cole. But he's kind of treading kind of dangerous, because when you're chasing guys like Kendrick and Drake who are doing it so big, and they've already passed you, that anonymity can cost you, because now you're falling too far behind.
Exactly.
So now it's like, it's kind of dope how you right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You put yourself in a hole too far.
Yeah, that's true.
So he has to he's gonna need a big, now it's a situation where it's like, well, he went platinum with no features, but if Drake and Kendrick keep killing how they killing, you're gonna need a really big record. You know what I'm saying? And you might have to make a call. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know. And that's the point. I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, I don't like as much. Exactly. I would never count Cole out and making good music. Right. But Forest Hill Drive, as a lot of people enjoyed it. What was the big record from that? Like
the one that wasn't on it. The one that he performed for Letterman that wasn't even on it. That was the big
right. Because Chris, again, it's also I'm so deep. Let me write a song about how deep I am. It's so meta. And you know what? I'm so deep, I'm not going to put that song on the album.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm worried that this guy won't, like, sorry, Drew, but I worry for Cole was the stronger possibilities, like some unnamed person that we're not even mentioning, some number 4 guy will bump him off the list. I think that's a more possibility. Yeah, Big Sean.
If Big Sean had a harder work ethic, man, pause. If he went harder with his work ethic in terms of the albums and stuff, Sean could easily surpass J. Cole, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I think Dave
when Big Sean is spitting, y'all hear this dude when he spit?
Man, he said, I bring it home and base to base. That's true.
He spit, man. Yeah. Big Sean be spit.
Walter, we got to tread lightly, man. We still got to go back to Charlotte, man. Visit Smith, man. We can't do Cole too bad, man. You know that's the hometown hero, man. Can't be talking about. They already mad. He's third on the list, man. We can't drop him no further than third, man. And we're gonna be able to go back home.
When I go back to Charlotte, I'm playing Petey Pablo from Raleigh to Salisbury. You know what I'm saying?
What's not happening? Put some respect on the forward.
I'm gonna raise up beat is crazy. I don't know what that's about. But nah, man, like a Big Sean, man. Listen, man, y'all can hate all y'all want to, man. But listen, Okay. So before we get into it, somebody's gonna say this is for the commenter. But you didn't say this. J. Cole forever. You didn't say this.
J. Cole forever.
Right. It'll be somebody with a name in the name. Like I had an argument with Tupac yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Like his name was Tupac Shakur. Telling me I didn't know about Tupac. I was like, what? I was like, you're right. I know nothing about the music industry. I need to like study and read books.
Walter was speed dating with Tupac.
Yeah, man. Like, come on the show, Pac. Tell us more about Pac. Right. Always see me with Riri or the Rihanna review telling me why Rihanna's better than Beyonce. Like, really? You really think so? So Drake has obviously Quentin Miller, ghostwriter. You know, the reference tracks. I don't know if he ever thought about Drake having a ghostwriter. I think the beginning thing was we thought Drake was ghostwriting for Wayne. Right. At one point. I think that was the thing.
Which still may be true.
Like the whole it still could be true.
And Kanye.
Or I hate when people do this. They'll say, well, Drake doesn't always have ghostwriters because Drake's written songs for people. Let me tell you something about music publishing, ladies and gentlemen. When writing a song is an ambiguous term. I'll give you an example. You are MC New York. MC New York says, you know what? I want a song written for me. I'm gonna go to Drake.
Facts.
And this is just a fictional scenario. And Drake could say, you know what? I'll write that song for you for $5,000. I'll write a verse for you. MC New York says only $5,000. That's great. I'll send you the beat. Have it in my inbox by tomorrow. Drake says, okay, I got you. Drake gets on the phone and says, hey, Quentin. I have this project. I'm gonna get $5,000. I'll give you $500 of those dollars. You'll be popping or whatever if you come up with some bars. Quentin says, I'm on it, boss. So Quentin goes in the booth. Quentin spitting. I'm MC New York because New York's this and New York's that, the Bronx that. Cool. He gives it over to Drake. Drake, what do you think? Drake's like, I like that. I'm feeling that. You got your 500. Drake then hits up MC New York. I got some fire bars for you. Oh, really? Yeah, here we go. So Drake records himself doing the Quentin Miller bars, records it, sends it over to MC New York. MC New York now has a song that is written by Drake. Now, replace MC New York with Beyonce, replace MC New York with Rihanna, for scenario, Drake calling Party Next Door. Party Next Door could be writing work for Rihanna. So I'm not saying these things are happening. I'm just saying when you say somebody's writing for someone, don't just think that Drake's in a park with a journal writing all these songs. there is an exclusive line, right? On the publishing credits, you may even see Drake, October's very own, on the credits, and you may not see Quentin Miller anywhere. But that doesn't take the fact that conversation could have happened, and that happens a lot, not with Drake. I don't know how Drake does it, but in the music industry. So when we say somebody wrote for someone, unless you were actually in the booth, saw them write down the words on the pad, it doesn't matter whose name's on that credits. Because you may see Beyonce's name, and that could be 16 people. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, Walter. So what if I found Drake's BlackBerry in combo with the side scroll? Is that still writing for me or like?
Yeah. But writing is so ambiguous. You could be Mike. You could be producer. You could be Danger Hands. You could be Danger Hands and say you on a writer's credit, but that could just mean that you produced the beat and they wrote it to the beat, but you still get writer's credit because you're a producer. And he may never actually written the word. Like the dude, Ray Shimmer, and they did the whole formation thing.
Sway Lee.
Yeah. He said something in information, but she copied his flow, says the formation, and now he's a writer of the song. Doesn't mean he was in the studio with them sharing journals, writing together over coffee. You know what I'm saying? So people, when they hear writing, they have to open their minds up in the concept. So I'm saying all this to say that when people say Drake can have a ghostwriter because he wrote for somebody else, that's not mutually like exclusive. Like he could have easily had somebody write the bars and he could have just taken credit for it. So we can't throw that out. What we have to examine is when reference tracks comes up and you see a guy 4 or 5 records and Drake's spitting them verbatim. Like you can't just talk that aside. Like you gotta think about it. I love Nas and Jay-Z, but if a track comes up and I hear AZ spitting the Hard Knock Life bars, or Redman's talking about money cash hoes, I'm gonna look a little.
Yeah, people. But this is the thing because nigga, it is kind of. I want to go like a little like mini rant a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because,
go in.
Because
pause.
People. Because when it comes to the ghostwriting thing, you know, people like to confuse to me what that is, right? And so they'll be like, well, it's just good music, right? I like the song.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about MCs, because people will compare it to pop culture, right? They'll compare it to Beyonce. They'll say, oh, Michael Jackson wrote all his songs. So when you're a rapper, you are not a singer, right? Like Kendrick, for instance. He's not a singer, he's not a vocalist with, 3.5 range octaves. He doesn't play the piano. He doesn't dance.
Yeah.
All you are your words and your pen. It's all you are. It's kind of like another like a singer-songwriter, like an Elton John or Billy Joel or Paul Simon. They're not the greatest singers. They just have a crazy pen game.
Right.
So if you're not writing that, what are you doing? Like you can't. Now I get the idea that maybe Drake can present a record better than Quentin Miller can. I get that. But when we're talking about the best MCs of all time or the best MCs right now, especially with a Drake and with a Kendrick and a J. Cole, these are the best like writers of the era right now.
Yeah.
So if you are a guy who's not writing your raps and we're just talking about a rap conversation, not a pop culture conversation or a popular artist or whatever, that matters a lot. And you can't discredit that by saying, well, this is a good record and maybe Quentin Miller wouldn't present that song as good as Drake would. Yeah, that's fine. But we're talking about rap, and rap is based on all about your pen. Like, and the thing is, what's annoying about that is too, because I'll see rappers, they'll get on the radio. That conversation comes up so much on the Breakfast Club and on podcasts. Every rapper will try to act like, oh, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Let somebody accuse you of not writing something you wrote. You will go to the ends of the earth to prove you wrote it. You know what I'm saying? That gets on my nerves. Like, I'll be like, stop fronting. Like, stop. Drake cool. Like, I know you want to be political because you might want to hop on a Drake record one day or something.
All of them.
There's somebody right now, like they get on, like say, A$AP Rocky got on the Breakfast Club. I'm like, man, I don't care about Drake. I said he said that. I don't care about Drake ghostwriting. Now let somebody say that somebody wrote
One Train.
Wavy Bone, your Wavy Bone. Yeah, wrote your One Train verse. That was a song with a bunch of rappers. Right. Like, you would be hot. You go on a Twitter rant and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So people need to stop trying to discredit what the ghostwriter is. Me personally. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm an Eminem fan. If Eminem did not write Role Model, I would be hurt.
And I want to meet the ghostwriter. And it's funny because
I do. Like, me too. Dances. I'm not like he's not a woman. He's not Nicki Minaj twerking with her something else to look at or something. All you are is just a rapper.
Absolutely.
So if Eminem didn't write Role Model, then what are you? Like,
you know what else too? Drake at his peak was nice enough lyrically. So when you talk about Quentin Miller not necessarily having the presentation that Drake has, well, how far is the fall? Because if he didn't have the presentation, he could still kind of be like a Cole. So we're not talking about going from Drake to obscurity. Like Quentin Miller spitting his own bars. If he wrote, let's just say he wrote most of what Drake wrote. If he puts that out himself, he can still be a top 10 rapper in today's time. So let's not act like he just absolutely needs Drake because he just couldn't do anything without his talent. Like, no, Drake's done some stuff with it, but the core, the heart is in the words and in the bars and those things. So let's not just act like Quentin is just nothing without Drake, just like we don't act like Drake is nothing without Quentin. Like, these guys, these people that have done stuff, shout out to Rhymefest, these people who have done some ghostwriting can still have a career.
Hey, listen. Quentin's a ghostwriter, but fam, you ain't better than Bishop Lamont and Consequence. Man. So listen, on the ghostwriter list, Quentin still ain't an top 5. Okay.
Nah,
skills like the stuff.
Skills, Rhymefest.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What's I'm Babe, Mr. Fab? Like, he ain't better than them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people. He had to get in line. You know what I'm saying? Quentin.
I mean,
it's deep out here.
Ghostwriters. Who?
But Drake sought him out for a reason, though, right? And there's some level of talent that he put on that project.
Yeah, that's true. So. That's true. Let me back up. I ain't trying to quit it. Shout out to Quentin. he made a good point. Those 5 words that changed my whole perspective. Like, wow. So, all right. So cool. So I think we have that. I think it's been and people want to say, "Oh, we diss Drake." Listen, I know, and I mentioned it that Drake is probably it's more acceptable to hate because he's a top guy. But realistically, like in terms of just the legacy wise, I think we need Kendrick. I think if you want to make an argument of why Drake and Kendrick are both important, they are a yin and yang. Because I don't want all my music to be Kendrick. I do need a break from that sometimes. Yeah. But I also can't hear I'm partying, I'm living it up, I'm in Dubai, you know, spending $8,000-9,000 a minute. Like there has to be some balance.
I'm a hater.
So right. So I think if Kendrick, I mean, both don't have to be relatable. I mean, I think both
Jay and
have
Nas, man. It's Jay and
Nas.
Nas.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what that for. But
I'm talking about how the Yin and the Yang, how they carried us through that time period, because people would talk about Jay got some of the party hits, some of the lighter music, you know what I'm saying? And then Nas has stuff you just want to write. I mean, that's how it is. And Kendrick's music may not always be, you know, as like solemn or something. Some of Nas music has some party hits, some feel to it, but that's kind of how they may play off of each other now that, especially, they become kind of rivals in a sense.
Yeah.
I think so too. I just think like I'm understanding Drake. The thing is, I think a great artist is when you understand their perspective. Like I don't have to be born like Chris, born in Bed-Stuy, you know what I'm saying, selling packs in the corner to understand Big. Right. I didn't have to be from Queensbridge to understand Nas. When I hear Drake, I can understand Drake's perspective. When I hear stuff like Too Much, talking about like his mom and his uncle and his dad, I get Drake's story. And I think out of all the fluff, once you get to the core of it, you can find a good 20 songs that will really break down his life story. And I think Kendrick is always going to give you that. So I think they've done that. Even J. Cole, I mean, he named his album after where he grew up at, which is kind of dope because Forest Hills, actually, he lived there in St. John in Queens. Forest Hills is actually a section in Queens, and then for it to be the street in Fayetteville is a great tie-in. He probably didn't know that when he moved to St. John. So I think those three have done their job in that, and I think that's the point. I don't think Wale has done a good enough job in that.
Man,
I don't think Big Sean has done a good enough job in that in terms of talking about their history. So those three, the reason why we put these three guys together is because we know them. Now, whether you like what you know, that's objective. But to say we can't find records that breaks down their entire story, that would be incorrect. And a lot of our greats have not been able to do that. You know, I love Busta, but do we know his relationship with his parents? Do we know where he comes from? It's not saying that they're better than Busta, because Busta's one of my favorites. But I'm just saying in general, they have provided that perspective.
Cole is.
And I think, and I want to say this too, because of the fact we're in an era where you can't wait. Okay, Cole. you can't wait every 2 years for an album. I think if you have to give us consistent music all the time, you should be storytelling in it. Okay, if you have to give me 20 tracks a month, throw some concept in there. Throw some background history. Tell me what your third birthday was like. You know, right? Yeah, use your platform. Tell me about your mom, your uncle, your aunt, who's your uncle. Right. If you're going to oversaturate the market, give me some stories at least. You know what I'm saying? Jeez.
And again, that's why, you know what I said about Kendrick when I heard Good Kid, Mad City, because it really like it puts you in his life. It puts you in his world. Like the conversation, like the skit, the skit that he had right before Money Trees, and they was in the car.
Oh yeah.
My God.
Like I was like, dog, like I want to go to Compton and drink some bread get a lit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm old, like you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, like like that to me, that part of the music, that's why Kendrick for me is so. Because the thing is, so I haven't mentioned it. Like I didn't love To Pimp a Butterfly as much as a lot of people. I did. It wasn't for me. Like it was. I mean, Kendrick is so dope. Like you're gonna find gems in there. Like and it's dope. But it was a little bit too brown for me. That's the term like my friends use a lot. It was too brown. Man.
I was waiting on that. I was seeing if he was gonna say.
Yeah, man.
I need to kind of watch like more TV One home movies and.
No, don't do me like that.
Yeah, listen, man.
It was too brown.
I feel him. I can't dispute that. Drew makes a perfect point. I mean, that's
like I got waves, man. I probably have to like make my hair nappy or something. To listen to it, like
just because with Cole and the only thing, listen, I feel Cole is sincere, but I think sometimes it's a little too. I'm trying so much. Like he sold his like he sold his car. He's like riding his bike through the city now, and like the whole thing of like remember the whole thing like tweet me if I'm in your town, tweet me and I'll come and play you my album. And somebody tweeted him, and he came to the person's house in their apartment. He's playing PlayStation with their kid and stuff. It was just like it was a little, you know what I mean? Like it's still trying to roll out. Like he's promoting an album. Like I don't know, man.
But are we sure that Cole wants to be the #1 guy? Because I feel like he's really mastered that lane.
But it's just with Cole. The only thing about Cole is that I still feel that some of it is still hypocritical stuff. Like if you hate the system so much, why did you put Dreamville under Interscope? If you hate the system so much, why are you majority owner of Tidal? If you hate the system so like it's like it's just like he hates it. He went on the whole rant with Reggie Martinez, an hour and a half, about how much he hates the music industry. But the album came out the next week, and it was on Friday.
Hey, how many people complain about that
because he's under Jay?
What do you say, Chris?
I said, but that's like people being like, I hate my job. I can't stand it. I'll see you on Monday. Like the people do that all the time.
That's true. That's true. But I would think that would apply to his deal. If you're signing artists to Dreamville, you have an option. Dreamville could be an indie, or it could be under a major. He chose to put it under a major, the biggest major in the entire industry.
Right.
So I was like, if you hate it so much,
one devil's advocate thing though.
What is his Dreamville records? Who's the guy on Dreamville? Who's the guys?
Baz and Cuz and all that.
Baz and Cuz and Cousin and a Stepfather. All of them are under the same thing. Go ahead, Drew.
It's funny too because with all that he's signed to Rock Nation.
That's what
you're like that's the most. I mean, it's Jay. Like so, I mean, it doesn't get bigger than
that.
Here
we go.
But the thing that's crazy is, and I kind of maybe this is what he's doing a little bit because he could easily need Jay for everything and be because rock like what did Jay say? Good music's drug dealing cousins. That's what you look at the OGs of our Rock Nation, right? Mm-hmm. J. Cole could have tried to be the cool guy, right? Like Jay and them. But Cole, I'm gonna go totally left to make his own thing. I don't need to stand next to Jay-Z all day to make my wave.
It's true.
And so I think it's kind of cool in the same space where he is kind of I hate the industry thing.
Yeah.
Because it works for him because he could be the thing that'd be kind of whack and he'd just be like following around Jay-Z everywhere and needing that J stamp or trying to maneuver him to a Beyonce feature. There's admiration in that though.
But Drew, I think you're giving him too much credit because I don't think he's choosing not to ride around with Jay all day. I think Memphis Bleak is putting the squeeze like, man, look, it's only one seat in this two-seater left, man. You got to see him extra money, man.
Right, there's no choice. And somebody's going to say out there, somebody in the comments, but what about this, Jay-Z forever? What about this? Listen, Jay-Z wanted J. Cole to prosper on his own. That's great for Jay-Z. Jay-Z also walked Rita Ora to the radio station with her on her first song. So let's not get it twisted. Jay can still give you the nut.
But that's the beginning though, right? I mean, but Cole at this point, he probably has more songs with Drake than he does with Cole. Like,
absolutely.
Actually, that's true. That's true.
So I mean, initially, but like, man, at this point now, I don't remember that's why I even seen them two together. Like, especially since J. Cole got the fro. Like, I ain't even seen him with Jay-Z. Like,
the last time we saw them together. No, the title announcement they were together.
Okay, yeah.
Side by side, actually.
They were in the JK section. JK section. J. Cole, Kanye, and Jay-Z, right next to each other.
Before you wrap up, watch, I got a lightning round too.
Sure, go ahead.
So real quick before we wrap up, how many classic albums right now do we have between the three? And if you got a few, you can list them out. But how many classic albums today do we have between all three artists?
Wait, total?
Total, how many do we have?
Kendrick got 2.
Yeah, off top. That's easy.
I say 4 total.
4 total. What's the 4?
I say Forest Hills Drive, Take Care, and Kendrick's 2.
Man, that Forest Hill. I don't know. If I picked Cole, I probably would say Cole's
Sideline Story. Sideline Story would be the closest that Cole got, but I don't know if Cole got one.
That wasn't the album though. That was like the album gonna be like the whole body of the work.
No, what was the first one called? What was the first one called?
Yeah, that was it. Sideline Story.
That was Cole's first one?
Oh,
okay.
Because this impact with Forest Hills was bigger.
But it wasn't the music wasn't there though.
But I think it was bigger, but I don't know if it's because it was just Cole's new project, not necessarily because the music was so classic.
I feel like it was bigger because people like missed the boat on Born Center, so they just like
exactly.
Go get that one. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people, even though none of us will agree, a lot of people will say Born Center.
Yeah.
Born Center was too.
Okay, you say that. Okay, cool. Yeah. I don't say that, but a lot of people will debate me up and down. Shout out to Tyrell. Will debate me that Born Center is the classic, his classic. So
I'm always amazed that Drake fans don't say Never Was the Same as a classic. The joint with like Pound Cake.
It was hard though.
Yeah, Never the Same was hard.
Pound Cake is hella weak. I hate that song.
Are you kidding me? Pound Cake was that production is dope.
No,
Jay-Z, that's Jay's worst.
You talking about the intro though? The intro is nice.
But you know what?
Intro is crazy.
Hold up. Y'all gonna kill me just now.
I hate Wu-Tang.
Y'all gonna kill me just now. Drake's first official joint.
Exactly. Thank Me Later. I mean,
Thank Me Later wasn't that bad, man. Thank Me Later got some plays on it, man.
The Houston, Las Vegas, Atlanta.
No, that's the mixtape. That was so far gone. That was so far gone, Drew. That was so far gone. So Thank Me Later, the first song was Fireworks with Alicia Keys.
Fireworks is kind of hard though.
I'm with you. I would say for sure.
Fancy. You can take me now with Timberland. That's kind of hard, man.
The way he did Jay-Z on Light Up, man.
Light Up
Light Up was dope, man.
That was the hardest song. That was the hardest song on the thing.
And then he had Tell Me where he gassed Lil Wayne for the 100th time. Like that thing was. That man, I'm telling you. He been burning Wayne since forever.
He's just so good. He's just so good. Oh.
I mean, but it's like as far as debut go, like Thank Me Later wasn't it for me personally.
Well, that was his debut. So Far Gone was nominated for a Grammy. Drake was the first artist to have a mixtape nominated for a Grammy.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So Drake has a lot of firsts, man. I mean,
even having a disc record played in the club, back to back is a club record.
Yeah, and back to back. I mean, for a Grammy too. First disc record. So it's a lot. Even though
we're talking about probably 3 albums. We all give Drake one, whether it be the probably one Take Care. We can agree on that. Kendrick, I guess most people are saying 2. And I don't know. I can't, as much as I love Cole's first album, like for me, but I don't know. So Cole don't have one yet? Like, so we just got 3 for sure?
Shoot, I like the warm up better than all the other ones.
Man. So there we go. We got 4 classes. Let's go. We got you, Cole.
With Young Simba on there. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Cole got one.
I want to do a Dave East, Vince Staples, and Schoolboy Q.
Here we go. Okay, easy for me. Easy. Well, that's not easy.
There we go.
Oh, have you heard the joint with Vince Staples on the Birth of a Nation soundtrack?
Yeah.
No. I've only heard the Nas song.
That joint is hard.
Vince nice. Vince is nice.
Vince definitely is hard, man. It's the first record on Birth of a Nation. I've seen the movie yet. But I heard the soundtrack. Vince is spit. I'm not even like a big Vince Staples. I've heard a few features, but that made me want to go into his catalog. Dave East album is fire. The one that just came out 2 weeks ago.
The Keisha John.
Yeah, but him and Cam, him and Beans, him and Fab.
Well, technically that's the mixtape. He says that's
the album. That's on Spotify. Something about. I would say Schoolboy Q, Vince, and Dave East, but I mean, I gotta hear more Dave and Vince to even make that full statement. So
I mean, like as far as that goes, I think Schoolboy's in the lead because that Blankface is crazy.
Oh yeah, Blankface may be one of probably the top 5 rap albums of the year so
3.
far.
Oh, yeah.
I would say 3.
I wasn't feeling it at first.
You say 3? Yeah, I can see 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that album was fire. But yeah, so let's get to it. So yes, I guess we all kind of made our picks. But yeah, y'all tell me out there, what do y'all think, man? Yeah, Cole doesn't have any classics, man. Wow.
Some very goods.
Yeah, some very good. Okay. What do y'all? Hold up, to give Cole some props. I know Cole fan forever is gonna comment. Always from Major Main's gonna comment.
Forest Hill's mine.
Fayetteville 2014 is gonna comment.
47 Hills Parsons.
Right. What is your...
Yo.
No, it's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. Chris, what is your favorite J. Cole project, man? To show him some love, man. What's your favorite one?
Forest Hills made me stop hating on J. Cole, man. To be honest with you, like
okay.
Listening to that joint, like the Tale of Two Cities, just like the way that joint bumped, I was like, all right.
Oh yeah,
I was like, okay, all right, you right.
Is that the one he said the whole birthday thing? His birthday and I ain't Slick Rick or I ain't King. He was saying something. Was that the one?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Is that the one? Where he's like,
no, that wasn't the one. That's the one. That's the intro.
That was the intro. That's the intro.
Yeah, the Tale of Two Cities, like he's like run it, like he's like robbing.
Hold on.
Watch or whatever.
Tale of Two Cities is the one that Kendrick body. But never mind.
Oh,
okay.
Way to bring it back around, tell it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. What's the one with Cole was? Oh, that's still January 15th. I'm still talking about the intro. The intro did was just so amazing.
Yeah.
The intro was the best song. Yeah, the intro was tough.
I got a quick question.
Sure, go ahead, Drew.
So, like, in terms of the lightning thing, all 3 of these guys have all worked together.
Okay.
So, what's the best record between all of them together? Like, it's what was it Kendrick's little interlude on? King Carrie.
No. I tell you right now, it was Drake and Kendrick on
Poetic?
Yeah,
Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice.
Nah, Jodeci was crazy, yeah. The Jodeci song.
What?
Song called Jodeci with Kendrick. I mean with Cole and Drake. That song was crazy.
Oh, Hit It in the Morning?
Nah, Jodeci. The song's called Jodeci.
It was called Jodeci? I haven't heard that before.
Yeah,
I never heard it.
I got you later. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Exclusives.
Yeah, I would take that. I mean,
Come on, need that record, Envy.
Oh yeah. One more thing to comment on, and I will admit I am biased. Kendrick did release the Untitled project after The Pimp a Butterfly. In my mental memory, his last project was The Pimp a Butterfly. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of just like skipped over that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
he's allowed that. He's afforded that.
I'd be purposely biased in omitting that from this conversation. I am. Sue me. All right.
Yeah, shout out to LeBron for putting the pressure on Top Dog to put that out. So LeBron.
That was the victory. Yeah. That was the victory lap, man.
Shout out to LeBron. He got Swiss Beats 2-year-old making beats. But it was nice. That probably was the best song on the album, the best beat. On that whatever album that was, because the last album I know is Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Untitled 1 on there was like that song was insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
On whoever's project that wasn't Kendrick. That was somebody else. Kendrick was helping people. Kendrick helping people out. That's
Conroe Kenny. That's Conroe Kenny.
That was Kendrick's reference track to somebody. I don't know who it was.
Oh wait. One more thing. I know we gotta go. But
Sure.
Is it just me, or is the clearest jab to date between Kendrick and Drake what Kendrick did on Deep Water?
So
like that has to be that has to be the clearest jab.
Say the bar. Mother. No, I started from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like when he started that verse and he was like, once upon a time I shot it on accident. I tried to kill him, but I guess I needed more practice.
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm liable to bury him. They nominated 6 to carry him. He worried, but there's no vegetarian. Like whatever it did, like he was. He said, and he's like, this is life of my aquarium. He said, you swimming with the sharks, but this is life of my aquarium. I'm like, that's an obvious shot. Like we talk about, I started from the bottom. They nominated 6 to carry him. He worried about the beef, but he's no vegetarian. Like, come on, like that's. Man. There's been some. We've been wondering if Drake's been taking some shots in certain songs. But that was like the clearest shot to date to use that exact language. Yeah, I can't think of nothing else.
Well, King Kunta too.
The language.
King Kunta, that could be ambiguous. A lot of people are sharing.
That's what I'm saying.
But then
That
Drake.
makes you just think Drake didn't write nothing on Poetic Justice.
Exactly.
That's all.
Hey, that's how I took it. Me too. I agree, 100%.
Or Drake, even Drake with the whole on Game 100 thing. Like I would have all your fans if I still some consciences and all
Exactly.
that. Like that could have, you know what I mean? That could be, and he's in Compton saying it. Like
But what about even on what's the song Khaled album?
For free.
The one now?
For free, yeah.
For free.
For free.
Yeah, like,
he's like
your boy Compton.
yeah.
That was more like
is it no, what I'm saying though, is it check? He didn't diss him.
He didn't diss him.
Is that kind of a chess move? Is it kind of like a
chess
move?
Well, it's like what Jay said. I ain't talk about Jimmy. I ain't talk about Game. It was like he's saying about talk about you, but he's talking about you know what I'm saying? He's saying people's names, people he has problems with. So if you're not saying, it's like why you say his name? You know what I mean?
And then in the third verse, Jay started talking about him in the third verse. Of the
right,
song.
Exactly. But that could be Drake. That could have been a shot, only because it's kind of like you made a hot line, made a hot song, type of thing. I mean,
don't give him too much credit. I'm giving him bars.
The song was called For Free too. It was called For Free too. So
it was called For Free.
Yeah, but you know what though? But also if you take it, if that's the lane that Drake's trying to take, how the Jay with the I made a hotline minute out song. You see how bad that ended for Jay. So Drake might want to chill.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That can go left. That can go left.
Of critical acclaim versus commercial success is a tough thing.
Yeah.
People. Listen, what I've learned in my years of just in general, just observing people is like people don't know what they want. People don't know what they want. If somebody has commercial success, people are going to say, but it isn't critical. And if people have critical, they're going to say, I wish they had commercial success. It's like, my question always is, if you love an artist so much, why does it even matter how much they're selling? Unless you're on a show called The Culture, we talk about people. But other than that, it's like, why else would it matter? Like, why is Jasmine, if everybody says Jasmine Sullivan is underrated, how is she underrated? If everybody's saying Kiki Wyatt is one of the best singers ever to do it, how is her winning a Grammy going to make you feel better about your choice? Is it going to make you
in a way though, in a little bit it does though, I think. Because if you feel someone's underrated, that can be something that can be talked amongst fans or groups like ours and things like that, like comments or whatever. But until because to me, like for instance, in the opposite, I feel like Eminem is underrated with all the commercial success and all the Grammys he's won. He doesn't get enough respect as a rapper to me. Like you can be underrated with the success to me, and the accolades. So it's a two-way street, and I feel like it does add a little bit of validity to. Like, for instance, I'm a huge Nas fan. And matter of fact, Nas lost Album of the Year for Life Is Good. He lost it to Take Care. Wasn't it Take Care?
Yeah.
And I do think it wouldn't change. I mean, obviously, a Grammy wouldn't change how I feel about Nas. But I do think it would be a little better for him to kind of get that Best Rap Album Grammy and not wait till he gets a Grammy Achievement Award when he's 80 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it seems like that's what's going to happen. Like, that's what's going to happen to him. You know what I mean? And so I see both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it depends. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. And don't get me wrong. I think it's cool when we see the people that we look up to get recognition. Yeah. Because in a sense, the people that we love the most are kind of like our life soundtracks.
Exactly.
So it's great to see that. You want people to see it, but I just like they said, I think if Nas doesn't get it, it doesn't make Nas less great. He's just he's Nas. Like we just know he's the best MC walking. So it's tough. It would be great to see it, but I'm not gonna play him less because he doesn't get it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's what people want. So that's it. So I want y'all out there. Y'all was in the comments lit. Shout out to Tyra. Tyra was holding it down. Live and die in Chicago. Live and die in Chicago twice. Here, John Parker said J. Cole is corny. Wow. He switched it up. Noah John said Kendrick, Drake, then Cole. Romel said that Drake is a pop artist. So Drake has never rapped. All right.
Wait, can I comment on that real quick, Walter? I want people to think about if MC Hammer could rhyme like Drake. Because that's kind of where we're like, think about how much harder it would be to go against MC Hammer if he had just those entry level bars that you needed to be like, whoa, that was kind of like, because that might be where Drake is headed when you talk about that stratosphere of just crazy success, but you just can't discount it because then you're gonna get it back to back. Like, just imagine that.
It's tough. Oh wait, hold on. No, Tyra said Drake sold so many more records than both of them. So many. Even if this record was nominated for a Grammy. Daniel said, I don't see how Drake is even in this category. That must have been the beginning because we broke it down.
I don't like that argument, man.
Listen, because people listen. Drake does pop for songs. Some songs that Drake does just become popular. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just say, because again, I could give you the motion. I give you too much. I can give you a lot of different records. I'm saying those two. But I give you a lot of different records that he's actually rhyming. So we can't just discount him total. If you think he's
Underground Kings.
Underground Kings. If you think he's corny, fine. But you can't act like I can't pull out 20 songs that he spit stuff. He just doesn't choose to do it often, but he can do it. Yeah. Jessica Williams says, I don't see anybody taking Drake's spot at the moment. Unless Adele starts rapping, then probably not. Which is possible.
Killed that monster verse. You never know.
Exactly. I'm saying it's possible. Brittany shares out to Brittany. Drake is very different from J. Cole and Kendrick. I don't think it's right to compare Drake to them. They are more lyrical. I mean, Drake says that he's the top lyricist. He's saying first with last name greatest, first name ever. So I mean, or backwards or whatever. Yeah, he's got body.
Everybody 32 and under.
This is my theme park. Way. J. Cole. J. Cole and Wale are nearly parallel, both lacking sense of artistic integrity. I don't agree with that at all. This is
what?
His name is Esau, or her name is Esau Pyramid. I don't get how you can't get that. Like, I respect your opinion. Thanks for tuning in, but I don't get how you. Jake, let me read it again, just make sure I'm clear. J. Cole and Wale are nearly parallel, both lack a sense of artistic integrity. Are you sure you didn't miss a word?
Right.
Like both don't, like, because I feel like J. Cole, I mean, you can say what you want about him. I think he produces his own stuff. He went platinum with no features. Like he's very artistic. Wale too. I think Wale puts on. I think Wale does his thing. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I respect your opinion though.
My God.
Legacy Entertainment put, Drake is, I can't deny that. If I can't even read your sentence.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could do what you just did, Walt. I have a hard time with that. When people say, I'm respecting your opinion. This is the thing.
I do, man.
No. I'm not saying it's bad.
I watched Sway and Big Boy in live trying to get tips.
Right.
People will be like, yo, this is my. People will be like, this is my opinion. But your opinion can be trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
trash emoji.
If somebody was like, yo, like, I don't know, I saw LeBron play and I saw Bradley Beal play, but I just think Bradley Beal's kind of better in my opinion.
Just my opinion.
Just you put my opinion on the end, don't make it right. Like,
true. I wish I could give you my account, my BMOCTV account for like a week and see the comments I respond to. Like, I take political correctness to another level. Like, it's so correct that it becomes trolling. Right. That's how bad it becomes. Anthony Celestin put, I'm getting tired of Drake getting put next to rappers like Cole and Kendrick. Tell me why you're tired. Y'all fans make me hate Drake. Everybody knows Drake makes good music, but he's not a real rapper. So that's what I'm saying, man. And Anthony Celestin, you just wrote this like 15 minutes ago. How are you tired? Like you're tired of what? Like, what are you tired about? Like, if Drake makes good music and sometimes he raps on it, how is he not rapping? Like, how is he? What is he real rapper? I don't get what's a real rapper. I don't get it.
But here's the breaking news. If you watch this episode for an hour and 15 minutes and you thought we were all just Drake fans, you're obsessed with him, not us.
That's what I'm saying.
We spent plenty of time talking about Kendrick.
Exactly.
That's your guy, not our guy. Like, we talked about Kendrick more than enough. Shout out to you, though. Thanks. See you next week.
This sounds going to be off brand rights. No, it's just crazy. So I think I got all the comments. Shout out to all you guys, Noah John, Isaiah Townsend. You was deep. The flaws for Drake are much bigger than K. Dot and Cole. He rides the wave of other artists. That's a good point. are the flaws of Drake much bigger than K-Dot and Cole?
What do you consider
possible?
Yeah,
It's possible.
Because I feel like Drake's most lyrical songs are better than Cole's. I do. I do. I feel like
I could see that.
when Drake wants to rap, I keep saying it too much because Too Much is my favorite Drake song. Drake is spitting on that, and it is crazy, and it's real life stuff. Is his flows in pocket, everything. I think that song to me is more exciting. Well, no, let me back up. Because I'm thinking about 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I don't know. You may have a point, Isaiah. I don't know.
My favorite Cole is probably like Sideline Story or the other one that I forgot about. Like you said, like Light Up. Like I've been up for 4 days getting money both ways. Drake or Underground like Kings. Like Drake has some stuff where it's like, man, he
has some punchlines. He's trying to play. He has quotables. Like Drake has quotables. If you really went down the list, like we may not listen to him a lot, like because we're more like the lyrical guys of the group. But like if you really wrote down a quotable, Drake has a quotable per song. Even some stuff you may not like, you remember them.
Like take care, like don't feel around or whatever. That's crazy.
Right. Well, that's the thing. So here's the thing. Like if you're the guy in the room who wants to make a mark, whether you're hated or whether you love, you've made a mark. If people kind of like in between about you is then you haven't really made the mark. Like people need to feel some type of way about you. And I think Drake has accomplished that. I think with Kendrick is by far the few artists that 90% of people are gonna say we like him. Yeah. Right?
And the other 10% are from the East Coast.
Yeah. It's almost like
I'm in control of it.
Right. It's almost like wrestling. Like people like I see every now and then people hate John Cena, but they feel some type of way about him. Not like some jobber guy who's like, we don't care. We want John Cena to show up so we can boo him. Like that means you care about him. You
need him.
Exactly. You care seeing him. It's not like some guy who gets in the ring. His intro music ain't even there. He just pops up in the ring when the person comes back, and he gets elbowed out of the ring.
Music is the worst.
Right, and he gets counted out like that. I'm not saying Cole is that.
You're saying Cole showed up after a commercial break. Just showed up in the ring.
I think Cole could definitely be a WrestleMania, not the main event, but I think he would be somewhere, second match.
If Diggy Simmons used that wrestler line against J. Cole, he would have never recovered. You the rest of the show with no intro after the commercial. That's ether right there.
If I put that in a bar, it's out of here. All right, y'all. So again, thank y'all for rocking with us, man. It was always a good time as always. Any last words to shout us?
Yeah, shout out to Walter for wearing his West Coast Kendrick hat. You got the W on there.
Man, okay, yeah, Walter wore a W hat for West Coast. Okay.
Nah,
for both.
And also, I want to shout out Chris, man. I for Throwback Thursday, I reposted episode 1. He was on there, so I was just gonna say that we needed more episodes with Chris on it. And thank you for posting that article about some of the wars going on in the Middle East. Continue to pray for them. Continue to pray for those that are still affected by Hurricane Matthew. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in.
Crazy. Absolutely. Yeah, shout out for real. It's been crazy. I'm almost scared to even read the reports, man. All the people are dying, man. That's everybody in the Caribbean, like everybody, for real. Drew, any last words, man?
Yeah, shout outs to Walter for the congratulations on the Just Biz, the new venture.
Yeah, you got to plug that.
On that.
Appreciate it.
Sold out quick like Kanye at the Garden.
Yeah, so let me announce. I'll talk more about it as we go on. But yeah, Live the Biz, my new venture. Anybody wants to learn about the music industry, you can become a member. Check it out. LiveThe.biz, our first event. If you're in New York City, well, you can't go because it's sold out. But I'm actually right, exactly. It's my company, and I brought some friends from Viacom, BT. I got the senior vice president from Viacom who does BT and MTV2. I have the vice president of Viacom who does the VH1 logo. I have the vice president from Sony ATV, all the Michael Jackson catalog and all that stuff. I have an on-air personality, Gia Peppers, who does Hot 97, Essence. I have the president of Women in Music, the oldest music organization in New York City. I have Shelby Moran, who does Warner Brothers radio promotions. And I have Bridget, who does Rock Nation. I'm also gonna have Nelly Ortiz, who does DJ Khaled stuff for Rock Nation too. So we have a good panel, and I put it up, and literally within 4 hours, it's like sold out. Like the tickets are gone. So but we're gonna have some more stuff coming up next year. I have an A&R panel, I have a streaming panel, I have a music publishing panel, I have so much other stuff coming up. So thank you guys for appreciating and showing love. Again, that's livethe.biz. So y'all be hearing more about it in the future, for real. So but thank you, Drew, for reminding me of that.
Yeah, sir. And Chris, follow me on Twitter, bro. I'm following you. No follow back. I'm like, man, he didn't follow me there.
Hey, follow me. Follow me. Follow me.
No, he's definitely a great follow. Like, so very dope. Follow me on Twitter. Bricks is King. BRIXX is King on Twitter. It's the dope version of what's going on Facebook. I don't post on it too much. Besides the group that I love, and then on IG as well. And the Niners fired Trent Baalke.
Yeah, follow him, man. Everybody follow everybody. Talib, any last words, my dude?
Not a couple, but I honestly believe that Kendrick is one classic album away from being like the GOAT. So I think that's gonna happen soon.
Wow.
Sure.
I think so. I really want to see who he comes with next. It's really gonna be tough to top to Pimp a Butterfly, but I really want to see where he goes with it. I really want to see. So it could do two things. Either it could be a major flop, which pushes him to make his next big one, or it could just be that. You know what I mean? So he's like
one classic away.
I don't want no electric circus, no electric circus.
Yeah, please.
But
Chris, any last words?
Yeah, man, hit me up on Twitter, ChrisB06. You talking about movies? I definitely saw Birth of a Nation last night with my wife. Wasn't the best date movie. You know what I'm saying? It was not a good date movie, but powerful movie.
Absolutely.
Man. So definitely, I know there's a lot of controversy around everything. Nate Parker is passing all that, but the movie itself, in and of itself, is worth seeing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna pick it up and check out on Netflix. They got this documentary about the Civil War in Syria called The White Helmets. I'm about to watch that this week too. That's gonna be a really good watch. It's about local cats, like teachers, carpenters, regular people who go into these situations like right after the bombings have happened and pull out babies, pull out old people.
Wow.
It's incredible. Wow. Regular citizens, man.
Yeah, and I heard about the 13th too. The 13th.
Oh, the 13th is outstanding.
That's amazing. That's an Ava DuVernay joint.
Okay,
Dude, you gotta get on it.
Tonight, I got some more work to do. I'm gonna check that out. Oh yeah, Chris, you coming to the event too, right?
Yeah, man, I got it right before. Yeah, I got it.
Chris, I think you got the second to the last ticket of my event.
Like if I refreshed, I would have been out. Like I think.
Oh yeah, I want to say too. I apologize. I had so many label people who can't come. Like, some of my Warner people who's gonna show up. Literally, like some of my Warner people, future panelists can't come to this. So
crazy.
But yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to you. I'll see you at the event, Chris.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think that's good, man. Make sure y'all support everything that's going on. Solange album, Luke Cage, the 13th. The Nate Parker movie. If y'all, if you want to see the story, I think I'm gonna check it out. To support.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm not. Again, watch the Michelle A movie. We watched the last time with my wife. I'm like,
what I was going to say was that Nat Turner is the story is bigger than Nate Parker's story.
Exactly. Right.
But in terms of Michelle A, I think their story is as big as her story. I don't know. Listen, all I gotta say is the movie wasn't bad. It's probably the better Lifetime movies I've seen. The ending is just really, really weird.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Well,
don't spoil it.
But the part that's weird isn't really part of the story. It's like the story ends and then other stuff happens, and I'm like, why is she doing that? I don't get why she's still on the screen doing that.
If you
wait, who saw it?
I probably won't watch it.
Drew, you saw? You know what I'm talking about, Drew, right? Like, once the story is over, and then what happens after? Like, why was she doing that? In that room? Yeah, why was she doing that? It was awkward. It was awkward. It went on too long. Like, why was she still there?
Maybe I don't get it. A dream sequence or something.
It's like when you get a haircut and you still in the barbershop You're like, why are you like? But no, and the barbershop's closed, but you're still there. You're like, why are you still at the bar? And it is closed, so why are you still at the bar?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It was like she could have ended it, but yeah.
One more thing.
If you watch Sheridan Compton and you watch this, it's like Dr. Dre. It's like he went from like the little hero that fight against all the bad things in the world to like.
That's it. No, I told my wife.
It's like Hitler, Osama bin Laden, and Dr. Dre. Like,
no, I told my wife. I said, I go Sheridan Compton. He was like Batman, or this one he like the Joker. Like he's like he's like the same person. And you know what's funny? The actor that played
not Jack
Dre.
Nicholson.
Right, that's Jack Nicholson. He's like I don't know, Jared Leto or whatever. But no,
Heath Ledger.
No, the guy that plays Dr. Dre in the Michelet movie looks more like Dre. And
definitely does.
He's Sheridan Compton.
Definitely does.
Like Hugh was like it's
and
crazy.
It's the same Suge.
Yeah,
it's not the same Suge.
So wait, it's like a crossover. Chris, it's like Arrow and Flash, like crossovers, like
he definitely looks more like Dre though.
Yeah, like it looked more. And actually, her movie, how it was a little grimier, it felt more like it was what happened.
Yeah.
Like it felt, I don't know.
I gotta go watch it tonight. That's enough, man. I need to go watch it.
I'm sold.
She hey, listen, say whatever you want about Michelet, she's not a bad storyteller. You know what I mean? It was concise. It got to the point. It had a beginning, middle, and end. So
there's one scene.
For a Lifetime movie, that's more.
All right, well, hold on, Drew. Don't be giving away no spoilers.
I'm not. There's a scene with Tupac that's been kind of controversial. So
yeah.
Huh? Daz actually made a post about it on Instagram today. Daz Dillinger posted something on Instagram about it today. What the Pac scene is kind of ill. You're like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Wait,
and no power tonight either? Okay,
I'm on it. Y'all, it's not the same Pac.
This Pac looks like Malik Yoba.
Chris, this is Sheridan Compton Flashpoint. It's Sheridan Compton Flashpoint. It's like it's an alternate universe.
He changed everything. He didn't go to Vegas. It changed everything.
Yeah, it changed everything.
The dog people.
Shook smiles. No, Leanne, Boss Queen said Suge smiles. I said, yeah, at drive-bys and shootouts. Suge smiled for this movie. He was smiling more than Michelet.
Oh no!
I'm like, Suge was mad happy until like the middle. But he was real Suge Knight. He was head all down, like, what do you mean?
Oh my God.
But yeah, shout out to Michelet in that movie. But yeah, okay, so if y'all want to support, make sure to subscribe, youtube.com/BMOCTV. Check out the group, BMOC.TV /groups. Facebook.com/group/BMOCTV. Our group, we have daily themes, discussions, and all that good stuff, so come through. And that's it, man. Support, share, like, do something, comment. Subscribe. I keep doing some stick right now.
I got you. I know.
I hit y'all with the air hall. The air hall, right? I hit y'all with the air. Was that R. Kelly? I mean, same.
Chill.
No, listen. Early R. Kelly was air hall.
Oh God.
Same thing.
And then did a machine, and it became just one. They merged into one. All right, y'all. So we see y'all next week. Peace. Absolutely.